To order.
Just in case you think it's something.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wendy, you want to take the roll call?
Yes, thank you. Don Vanny.
Here.
Heather Logan. Here. Deborah Nelson. Here. Marilyn Ertley.
Here.
Jen Schweddy.
Here.
Michelle Blythe.
Here.
Yvonne Gallardo.
Here.
Madam Mayor, I move for approval of the agenda as presented.
Second. Question?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're going to start off this evening with a special guest. And welcome back, Mandy. I'll let you introduce Portia and tell us about your presentation.
Hi everyone, I'm Mandy.
Will you turn the microphone on?
Sure.
Hi everyone, I'm Mandy. I work for the City of Arlington in Communications, and I'm going to present to you one of the projects that we've been working hard on called Meet Me in Arlington, which most of you know. The former site was called Shop Local Arlington that we developed during COVID to help businesses move forward. And with me today is Portia. She is a hired consultant on the project, and she is doing a fantastic job with all the social media and helping us push out Meet Me in Arlington, and has made some great progress. So she will be speaking after I introduce you to the site. How does that sound? Okay, so like I said, Meet Me in Arlington is now the rebranded version of Shop Local Arlington. The difference between the two is Shop Local Arlington was mostly just an online marketplace, and Meet Me in Arlington is an online marketplace in addition to a destination-themed marketplace where people can learn everything there is to do with Arlington, so events, where to stay, play, eat, and shop. And right now I'm going to show you the marketplace. And my team and I, Portia, obviously is part of the team, and the chamber, who is not here today, Diane Krieg and Jay Downing, helped a lot with the site. And then of course, Mayor Tolbert and Sarah Lopez are also on the team. We meet monthly to go over branding of the site, making sure that product is updated and everything's on point. So right now, as you can see, a lot of the products here are fall themed, which we're really excited about. And they're divided into sections, so apparel, food and drink, home and garden, recreation, and so on and so forth. What's really cool about the marketplace is if you find a product that you like, say we can just start with, here we'll start with this Arlington Hardware sweatshirt. You can view the product, and if you'd like to purchase it, you hit buy now, and it goes to the business owner's site directly. So the consumer can purchase the product right here, and there's no middleman. So we were really excited about that feature on the site. It's just another layer of marketing essentially for that business owner. So not only do they have their website, but they also have another platform that's advertising their products as well. Another cool feature is you can search for a product if there's something that you're looking for specifically. And I search for candles, and a variety of different candles can come up. Also on the marketplace, every product that you see, Portia will then advertise the product on our social media channels, so Facebook and Instagram. Oh, and I'd like to share the gift guides with you too, sorry. Another tag element that we added to the site was this gift guide tag. And you can scroll down and see gift guides that were specifically curated from Portia. And this is a really cool feature also. And also we added some, real visual elements to including video. So we tried to match the text and the content. We tried to, diversify it a little bit by adding video. So you will see the older brand of Shop Local videos on here, but we thought we would do our due diligence and still utilize the videos that we worked so hard on. So we have them highlighted also on the site. And for the event page, this is really fun. We keep this, updated according to what's going on, so like local pumpkin patches, and this is a flyer that just came out today. And you can click on, you can tell us about an event and submit it and let us know. And then once a business owner does that, then we'll know, that'll trigger us to go ahead and share the event. And then again, videos. And then down here is just our annual events that, you know, visitors can rely on. So say they are interested in what's going on in Arlington, then they can see that we have events that are reoccurring. And you can click on the hyperlink there, and then it'll go to the city site and then tell the visitor all about hometown holidays.
Cool.
And then another feature that we have is where visitors can stay in Arlington. They can just scroll down and then click on the hotel of choice, and it'll go directly to the hotel's website. We do have on here, because the chamber is one of our partners, that they can always contact the chamber also if they have lodging questions. The chamber is a visitor center, so we wanted to give them the opportunity to do that. And then for playing, we have just some, you know, really fun things that there are to do in Arlington. We have outdoor adventures, art, and we decided on art because that is a big part of Arlington and our culture and who we are.
Yep.
And what's really cool about this is you can click here and see the brochure with maps for the art walk, which I thought was a really nice added tourism type of benefit for users. And then we have a section on family fun. And then we always, of course, keep it seasonal. So you can see here we have some farms listed. And I thought it was a good idea to add history, because there is a lot of history here in Arlington and history buffs. And I'm really proud of our history in Arlington, and I think there are a lot of people also. So they can learn about the Pioneer Museum and how to get there, and then just a little bit about our town. And the next section is dining. So we are trying to, if there are any restaurants that you see on the site, council, that we have forgotten, please send me an email and let us know. But we try to keep this pretty current. And as you can see, there are like the, you know, the hot spots where we think tourists will enjoy. But we tried not to leave anyone out, so we do have down here other dining favorites.
Okay.
And of course, they can call the number below or click here if they want to see any of these ones that are featured. We did include the outdoor eatery, even though it's not summertime. This was a project that we did during COVID. Some of you might remember, and so we included that as well. And then a section on breweries, because that is also a big part of what people like to do here when they visit. The itinerary section is one of my favorite sections. Portia's worked really hard on the itinerary section, where we'll just give visitors sort of suggestions of what popular things there are to do in Arlington. And we do reach out to the public to help us with these itineraries. So if there's an itinerary that you think that you would want to put together, please by all means let me know, and we can make something fun out of it, and give people some more suggestions. So as you can see, there's a lot of different types: hiking, family fun, and art again. And then the blog too, Sarah Lopez had a really creative idea that we integrate with the public and find out what they really like about Arlington and what they really like to do. And so these blogs are written by residents in Arlington. And as you can see, we do need more blogs. So if I have any writers in here, we would love to hear from you. And then of course we have a partner page, which is really important because we want to make sure that we give recognition to our partners who help develop the site and support the site. And so our partners include the Stille Valley Chamber, DABA, Seattle North Country, and of course we have information about us and where you can contact that partner. So this is the gist of the Meet Me in Arlington site. Up here you can click on, and I'll have Portia go through these portions, but the social media. So you can see we have our own Facebook page, and then also our own Instagram page that Portia is working so hard on. But I'm really proud of this project. It's really exciting to see a marketplace that was, just started during COVID, with the whole intent of helping businesses get back on their feet. And I'm really excited that it's grown into a destination themed marketplace, because I really think that Arlington has so much to offer to new visitors, and this is a great site to help kind of track that and increase visitor spending. So I hope you guys use the site, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'll leave it to Portia.
Hello, I am Portia, and I help manage Meet Me in Arlington. I have been creating content online for my own website and social media for about 10 years, and I feel really well versed in the space. My niche is travel, and so having Meet Me in Arlington be a destination guide for the Stille Valley, for Arlington, it's a perfect fit for my experience, my background. It has been such an incredibly successful website in having an opportunity to amplify the local businesses and offer them an opportunity to have a vast reach of potential new customers, and direct access, especially the transition from shop local during the pandemic, where people were home, they were shopping online, they're looking for things to do online. So being able to transition from online only to this kind of this hybrid of being able to shop online, see these businesses online, but then also connect with them, in store, downtown Arlington, see the storefronts. I will talk a little bit about social media, because that is something that is something I'm very passionate about and has been incredibly successful for the program. So Meet Me in Arlington, we have an Instagram and a Facebook page. On our Instagram alone, we have had the opportunity to reach over 103,000 people over the last 90 days organically. That's no advertising, no boosting, that is organic reach. And our targeted area from our analytics is Arlington, and it varies between Arlington, and then also we have Stanwood and Marysville and Everett. It's exactly who we want to reach, which is amazing. And 72% of the viewers are between the ages of 25 and 44, and they are typically majority female, which are often the top household buyers and consumers. So it's been great. It's been great to have an opportunity to amplify the local businesses and create an opportunity for not only the community here in Arlington to learn more about the businesses in their own backyard, but to reach other communities within the Snohomish County and even further into the King County region and then beyond. You can get a little glimpse here of our Instagram, which I talk a lot about Instagram because it has the highest organic reach, which we love. And I will feature local photographers. We have some amazing local photographers capturing beautiful parts of Arlington and reminding everybody why we love living in this area every season. And I also create short form video content in the form of reels, and they're typically under a minute, anywhere between 5 seconds. Oddly enough, that sounds so short, but that's actually very, very popular on social media because we all have a very short attention span. So I will create little short clips of things to do, and here I'm talking about the new $2 pumpkin spice latte at the Stille Coffee House. They have this crazy deal every fall that they do. And another local photographer, and it's helping promote also the hometown Halloween this weekend. And the new turtle bait. We're able to launch new businesses on here. So it's been a great opportunity to connect both Meet Me in Arlington, the website, and then we also have here the social media. So I'm able to cross-promote the businesses and kind of stimulate a buzz and reach new potential customers, also increase website traffic to their website. And there is an option as well, depending if a business has an opportunity to, like on social media, if they can shop, if they have a shoppable business. An example would be, it's not going to let me go through. Mountain Soul, for example, she's down here on Olympic. People can shop from her Instagram, so we were able to add the tag so people can actually shop from our Instagram directly to her website, which is not very common here on social. So again, so a little reason why I talk a lot about social media and how important it is there are over 300 million users in the United States that have a social media account, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. And that's about 80% of the US population. And they are on average on a social media platform 2.5 hours a day. And so, I mean, that is such a crazy amount of time, but it's true if you add it all up. And so I think that if we have an opportunity to reach these consumers, especially these local consumers, then all the better. It's been really fruitful. We've actually had tremendous success and great feedback from the local businesses, a few from both local businesses and just community members. I'll just read a couple because it was really, really inspiring. One was, "Thank you so much for sharing. We are semi new to the Arlington area and I absolutely adore the way you support your local businesses. I'm so happy to be a part of it." Another one, "I didn't know there was local axe throwing. Thank you for sharing." Another one, Arlington Bello Sport, "The sale was a great success. Thank you so much for your help." And I found a ton of gift ideas on Meet Me in Arlington. I'll just share one more. "Thank you, Meet Me in Arlington, for always sharing our latest events. We are so grateful. We always have a huge response when you share on social media." And that's for Pete's Sake Farms. If you're familiar with them, a local farm that have events very often. And I have a great relationship with them over messages. They're like, "This is what we have happening. Can you mind sharing?" And I'm always up to amplify and share. So that is the kind of little bit of the gist, the summary of what we have here. And we try to make it fun, in the emojis and stuff. Things look very different on a PC than they do on your phone. And to be honest with you, majority of people are looking on your phone. So it's a little hard for me to show you really get the user experience because this is very abbreviated, but kind of get the idea. And we are very seasonal. So we're in fall mode, which is really fun and cozy. And now the rain is here, which is actually really lovely. And then we will transition to holiday, which we're excited because we are shooting a really fun gift guide. We met with local businesses today, gathering products that we're going to showcase and have a great variety for a variety of gifts for men, women, kids. And the website has been so fun for me, being able to connect with local businesses. So my other portion of besides social media is onboarding the small businesses as well as uploading products and then meeting with people in person, chatting with them on social media, offering advice, tips, tricks, like what would be a good product to feature, what are people looking for, and then stopping in. I take a lot of videos. Businesses now are sending messages, "Hey, can you take a video inside my store? I want to, I'd love for you to do a reel for me." And now there's a collab feature where I create a video and I can add them, and it'll also be on their feed, so it saves them time and energy. And we try to showcase new businesses. Turtle Bay Smoothie, which is brand new in Smoky Point, we're so excited about it, and we've had great feedback. We shared on social, and and we also have the option. She talked a little about products. Anyone that has a gift card, we try to add here as well. So we're always encouraging local experiences in the area. So again, not only does the social media stay seasonal, but so does the website. Right now, we have over 215 businesses registered and over 300, and I think we have at this point 340 products registered. So it's fantastic that we've been able to, and there's always more, of course, that we can register. And so I, will go in and introduce myself. And I would say 99% of people are very excited to be on this site. There's always the 1% that are leery to be online overall, but I'll go in and reintroduce myself every quarter or whatnot. But the products, it's been really fun to kind of have, again, this hybrid of people being able to kind of get they're able to shop online, or maybe they can, window shop online and then actually go in store and meet the businesses. Any opportunity, and the thing is people are online. And if we're not online, somebody else is. They're seeing other products, their other services. So if we have an opportunity to showcase them local Arlington businesses, it is all the better. And it's proving to be really, really successful and really exciting. And I'm so grateful for this project. And thank you.
Thank you. Do you guys mind if I see if the council has any questions for you? Deborah?
That's exciting. So is there a set cost for the businesses to use this website or to put their products online, or? No?
Yep.
That is amazing.
And that's sometimes it's free, it doesn't cost me anything, but,
Yeah.
Eventually. And what happens is a business will see one of their peers on,
Yeah.
either I shared on social media and I'll wait, I'd like to be a part of this. So in the beginning, took us a little bit of convincing, and people were
Yeah.
like, no, this is for you. And now people are like, no, we would like to be involved. How do we get involved? So
We started out the project, Deborah, with the CARES money.
That's what I was
Yeah.
wondering, but
And then when Mandy came on the team, she found a way to take us off the paid site we were on and worked with Southern Creative so Randall could create a site that they could own then and use.
okay,
So-
excellent.
Yeah, Randall was able to basically convert all the content and the shell of the marketplace that we were paying DEI for
Right.
prior. So this is what is coming.
Well, and that's nice for us to hear, knowing that we've invested by hiring Randall. So it's always good to hear as a council, what the fruit of that contract is. So and it's just beautiful, that was my business many years ago, was photography and setting up a website and stuff. So very, very well done. It's excellent.
thank you.
Thank you. All right, Don has a question as well.
Just one quick question. As I noticed, like you say, you got 300 some vendors and stuff,
Yeah.
businesses in this list. So for example, like the ones that are showing products and stuff,
Yeah.
do you rotate that? So these ones that are at the bottom, as some people just start eyeballing the first few and then, that's,
Yeah, so.
so that's why I was just wondering, rotation, just like with the restaurants
Yes,
and stuff like that.
absolutely. And then also seasonally, and it's kind of a little trick. If there's a product that they have, maybe they shared last year, but it's something that comes back every year, why not? I can edit the date and it'll pop up again. So, and then
Perfect.
I try to go through all of, the websites, or, chat with people, like, what would you like me to share? Like, what is a product or service that you would like to be amplified? And or if they have estheticians, if they have a special promo or something, I'll try to kind of like bump it, or I'll edit one of their posts. I try to
Perfect.
stay top of mind.
Thank you. Okay, and Yvonne has a question.
I just want to say thank you for doing this. This is great, and your energy is great. So I know I hear a lot of good compliments about this. So I think that's really cool what you all have put together, and as a team putting that through for us. And I did have a question, and I got so excited, and now for the life of me, I can't remember what my question was.
But let me make a statement that maybe you'll remember.
I'm so
it.
sorry. Yes.
So,
Okay.
I just want to say I'm so pleased to see how you guys have grown this program. And I think part of it is your energy and your enthusiasm for it. Obviously, you love what you do, and it's like to be up to 215 businesses that are participating. When I remember in the beginning, so up and down Main Street trying to convince people to let us help them sell product in a different way. Yeah. So I think it's great.
That's good.
Did you remember your question? Okay.
I did. I remember now. When you were showing the events calendar, is there a way to subscribe to the calendar? Like, actually, like, how you can subscribe on your Google calendars and it gets kind of added in there? Is there?
You can subscribe to the Meeting Arlington page at the bottom of the page is to subscribe for updates, but not for the calendar specifically. But that is an interesting thing to think about, and I'll bring that to Randall and see what he can do about it.
It is nice when you can integrate that, and then like it's already in my Google calendar and it just pops up. So
It's a great idea.
Thank you, Mandy and Portia. That was a great
Yeah.
presentation.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to jump into our workshop items. So we have a few this evening. First up is the Snohomish County Health Department merger. Paul, are you taking us?
Yeah, that's me. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, this is the Snohomish County Health District is working on a merger with Snohomish County to actually become one of the departments of Snohomish County rather than a standalone district. Kind of similar to when we annexed into the North County Regional Fire Authority, there's a lot of little pieces that have to come into play to make that work. One of them is, and we're involved with that, is the assets of the district. We, as a member, contributed towards the property assets of that district, and what we're being asked by Snohomish County is to transfer those assets to Snohomish County, because once the district becomes a department, then they won't be their own entity, and so the county will own their real property. This was reviewed by the city attorney. We also reviewed it last week with the managers, the countywide managers group, and we asked the county to make one small addition to it, which is if particularly the Rucker building that's owned by the district, if that's ever sold, that the proceeds will stay in public health, because that was our intent when we purchased that. And so that's agreeable, and the agreement has been changed to reflect that. So happy to answer any questions.
I think we did this once before, when the health district was doing something with the Rucker
Yep.
building. Yeah.
Well, he answered my question
Excellent.
about selling it, so.
Okay, well, we'll move on to our next item now. Thank you, Paul.
Sure.
Which is the contract with Parametrics for engineering design services. Jim Kelly.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor and council members. This item before you is for design of our 2023 UPP. This will be the last year of our UPP under the current Transportation Benefit District. The negotiated contract is in the amount of $190,239.71. Parametrics has done this performance design for us for several years. They will be designing approximately 2,250 feet of water main replacement and a little bit under 6,000 feet of road resurfacing. We want them to get started as quickly as possible so that we can be out to bid very early next year.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Jim on this contract? Don?
Just one quick question, Jim. The 204th Street section between 67th and the railroad tracks?
Yes.
Is that on the 2022 preservation?
No,
Some
it
of
is
them
not.
street repairs in there?
No, it
Because I
is
see
not. That
listed.
is supposed to, it's supposed to be a developer resurfaced roadway. That's part of the development that's going to be going in. They will be resurfacing part of that road as well as the developer on the other side of the street.
Any timeline for that?
When are they going to pave?
Well, their frontage improvements will be done over the next couple of months. So as soon as they finish up with the northern building, then they'll do the frontage improvements out there.
Okay.
But that won't be on the main line, that'll just be from existing asphalt inwards to the.
Yeah, my question is like from 67th on 204th to the train tracks, that section of road is so bad.
So I totally agree with you. The TBD that we're in right now, that was implemented in 2013, was so tightly construed that we had the 204th at the time did not qualify to be on part. It was not part of the 126 road segments that we were going to repair.
Mm-hmm. So my question, would that take any priority of any of these streets that are on this list?
These streets that are on this list are on the identified segments that are for road repair.
Okay.
That's the next
Right.
row.
So Jan also had a question.
Just curious, the expenditures is 239,000, but the budgeted amount is 345,000?
Yes, that's how much we put together for the 23-24.
Just in case there's overflow or something?
We didn't know how much we were going to be budgeting for design. Our design's coming in a little bit, it's coming in under than what we budgeted.
Oh, okay, cool, thank you.
We always like that.
Yeah, I guess nowadays it's not to see that much.
All right, thank you, Jim.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.
And we'll move on to our next item, which is also yours. It's the sole source resolution for procurement of the water tank bladder.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. The Arlington wastewater treatment plant has a number 2 water, and that number 2 water is a separate water system than the city's water system and gets pressurized by a Wessel tank. The Wessel vessel has a bladder in there that pressurizes the number 2 water, and the bladder is leaking. We contacted Wessel. The manufacturer for the bladder, the only approved manufacturer, is from CHC Industries, and we have obtained a quote from them. It's for a little bit under $12,000. We can't go out, we can't bid this. It requires that we obtain bids according to Washington State. Otherwise, we have to do a sole source justification. And I'm recommending that we sole source justification the purchase of a replacement bladder for our Wessel vessel for the number 2 water at the wastewater treatment plant.
Thanks. Is there any questions for Jim on this? I just want to thank you for not putting Wessel vessel in the title.
It's very hard.
Say that 5 times in a row.
Yeah, Heather has a question.
Jim, did you say this vendor, CHC, is the only company that can do it?
They're the only company that the manufacturer will allow in their vessels.
And what if we didn't do it? What are the consequences?
We fall out of any type of warranty that Wessel provides for the vessel.
For the Wessel vessel. Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
All right, looks like that's all the questions. Thank you, Jim. Our next item is the Arlington School District Capital Facilities Plan, and Mark Hayes will take us through that.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. So once again, as we've done in the past, school district has proposed their plan, their 6-year plan. Because the 6-year plan, things can change within those 6 years. They have to keep coming back and review this on a pretty much an annual basis in order to see whether adjustments need to be made to their plan. The first one I'll present tonight is the Arlington School District's plan. And so the plan is for, there are some changes on their plan this year. There are some increases to mitigation fees that'll be due as a part of this. And we'd like to, I'll let you know that I do not have representative of the school districts here tonight, but I have asked for their attendance at the public hearing so that if the public or council has any questions that they want answered, then that representative will be here for that plan. So, and there's a resolution or a ordinance to go with both these plans because it has to be an inclusion within our comprehensive plan to adopt these moving forward. So, but I would answer any questions that I can this evening if the council has any.
Is he doing both of them or just Arlington?
He's doing Arlington first. So, okay. Looks like no questions on the Arlington one, Jim. Or Mark, let's move into the Lakewood.
Okay, so not to reiterate myself, this will be the same process, same format as the Arlington Capital Facilities Plan, just for the Lakewood School District instead.
And Jen has a question for you on that one.
Attorney No. Yeah, and I apologize because I absolutely don't remember this, but could you take just a couple of minutes and explain why we're doing Lakewood School District? I mean,
Sure.
I understand that part of their district is in Arlington. I don't know why it's in Arlington and where that all came from.
So the Lakewood School District encompassed that area. We incorporated the Smoky Point area as the annexation. That portion of the district was incorporated into Arlington also. So their district actually covers a portion of Marysville, a portion of Arlington, and a portion of Snohomish County.
Okay.
And so all 3 jurisdictions have to be adopting the same plan moving forward.
Okay, so their funding for Lakewood, does it come from our citizens at Smoky Point?
Only the portion that's within that of their
That's
district.
within their district?
Correct.
Okay, or Marysville, either way, okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mark on this? All right, thank you, Mark.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay, so our next item is your final chance to review the 2023-2024 biennial budget. This is what we spent that day, a Saturday in October, going over with Kristen, and she'll take us through the review.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening, members of council. We did meet on October 1st to review the preliminary 23-24 budget. Since then, there's just been a couple minor updates that I wanted to bring to your attention tonight, as this will be the final draft coming forward to the public hearing. We are reinstating a shared administrative position between finance and M&O. This was something that we talked briefly about at the council retreat. We just hadn't fine-tuned the details. In terms of the job description, we wanted to make sure that we could find duties between both departments that would be a good fit and make sense, and we've resolved that and worked through HR, so that's included in the budget. We also looked at the airport's travel and training budget, and with the recent turnover and the addition of the intern position, we felt like they might need a little bit more training to make sure their staff is kept up to date with all their requirements. And then we also updated the lease amount for the 9 police vehicles. Council recently approved that lease. We know what the lease amount will be each year. We didn't know that at the time that we had the preliminary budget, so we just needed to fine tune those numbers to make sure we had the actuals in there. All of those changes combined are less than $200,000, so pretty minor in terms of a $78 million and $88 million budget, but just wanted to be aware of the changes. Those have been included and reflected in what's in your packet tonight. So in terms of next steps, we will be holding 2 public hearings on November 7th. The first public hearing will be on the proposed 23 and 24 budget. The second public hearing will be on the proposed 2023 property tax levy. Pending no changes from the public hearing, I will be asking council that evening then to approve the budget ordinance and the resolution to adopt the levy. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, Jan has a question.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for answering all my questions today on email.
Yes.
And I want to say, I read the whole thing, and I was super impressed because you put things in categories to where you could see everything that was going in whatever department or whatever category it was. And it was so extensive that it answered any questions any of us might have on the budget. And Yvonne, I can say, you know, be sure and read this because it will really set you up. And the only other thing I have to say is, like, to the council, one of the things that Kristen, I've bugged her about for several years, because we spend a lot of money on things that to deal with crime. And, you know, you see something in the monthly thing that says $7,000 here, or for this lawyer, for this. The city picks up so much that our citizens don't know, that the council don't know. If you will, when you have a minute, go to page 44. And Kristen has listed out every single thing that we pay that's crime related. And it really amounts to a lot of money. But I think you need to know that when we're dealing with things, is how many hundreds of thousands of dollars we're spending on lawyers, even medication every month. You know, if you look at the budget, you know, because this last month was over $7,000 for medication. So we pay for things that I don't think everybody knows. And poor Kristen, she's done this for me several times. So when I saw that all on one page, I says, oh my gosh. But I'm going to ask Wendy to run me off a copy of that 116 pages. Because it was good. It was easier even to read than what the notebook was that we had. I mean, putting it in those categories just made things super clear. And so I really appreciate the time and work that you and your staff do to make sure that we know, because we all are not financial wizards by any chance. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate your very kind words. It makes the effort worth it when I can hear that I'm
also
doing
had-
my job.
Yes, very well. Michelle has a question.
Oh, thank you. The crime, Arlington is no different than any other city. Every other city has the same type of debts, and they pay everything. So it's not like Arlington, I just want to clarify, it's not like Arlington is an exception to that. We fall in line with all the expenses that any other city encompasses. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's just public safety is a big portion
Sure.
of our budget.
Yeah,
And there's
as it is
a
with
lot
any
of
other
details
city.
within public safety.
As it is with any other city. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I don't see any more questions, but Chris, I want to pass on to you. I was doing a community speaking event last week, and one of the community members at the event had read your budget from beginning to end, all 167 pages.
Wow.
And really took the time to express to me, which I want to express to you, how well laid out and how clear and transparent the budget was. And he appreciates that opportunity that any citizen can go to the website, look at the packet, and read the budget. So I look at budgets from all kinds of cities, as I'm sure you do, and I have to echo his comments. So I want to pass that on to you directly in public, that you really help all of our citizens understand.
Oh, wow,
you.
thank you. That means a lot to me. I appreciate that.
You know, you don't often go somewhere and get a compliment for finance department. So I really wanted to pass that on.
And I'm very impressed that a member of the public actually read it. It's a lot of material,
There was a
so.
retired gentleman who used to oversee a $60 million budget in his previous work life, so
Wow.
he was very appreciative of that. So
Yeah, that's
it's not like he
great.
didn't know what he was reading. but-
Yeah, that's good, but he did understand it, so that.
Yeah, so
that
you can
means
tell
I'm
your
doing-
staff, somebody's actually reading what you're producing.
Very good, I like that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kristen. All right, so if we don't have any other questions on the final review of the budget, appreciate Kristen telling us what she changed.
Yeah.
We'll go into our last item this evening, which is the financial report for September.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. There's just kind of two themes that I wanted to talk about that I kind of tried to weave together in this month's report. And the first one was revenue growth. You hear me talk a lot month after month about our sales tax growth, how that's performing. You know, it's exceeding our budget projections. It's exceeding year over year, especially related to our construction activity. But that's not the only place that we're seeing growth. So I put in a couple other charts. You know, our utility connections are increasing because of our activity, our park mitigation, our permit-related revenues. So I just wanted to take an opportunity and show that there's other areas of growth that we're experiencing related to our construction activity. And then in relation to that, I took kind of the next step and thought about our investment portfolio. As our revenues grow, it's logical that our investment portfolio should grow. And so I did the same timeline for our investment portfolio, and you can see that our investment portfolio is growing over that same time period because of the revenue growth that we're experiencing. So then I took kind of a step further and thought, okay, what does that mean in the big picture? And really the big takeaway for me was that the city is really being good stewards of our dollars. And what I mean by that is that we're taking an opportunity for our revenue growth and reinvesting that back into the community, which to me is evidenced by the biennial budget that we brought forward. We have a $60 million capital budget that we're investing in technology, transportation infrastructure, including the airport, utility infrastructure. We're investing in parks. So we're trying to create the best possible quality of life for our citizens by taking advantage of our revenue growth, reinvesting that into our community, while at the same time we're not depleting our reserves. So that means that we're we're sustainable for the future as well. So not only do we want to invest now, we want to make sure we're balancing that with our investment portfolio, managing that so we can be sustainable over a period of time when our revenues aren't so robust like they are now. So I just want to say, great job. Thank you for being good stewards of our money. And then the second theme I wanted to talk about was budget amendments. As we're kind of wrapping up our next biennial budget, I'll be moving into closing out 2022. And there was a question that came up this time last year that's kind of stuck with me, and I wanted to kind of revisit that question. And it was related to how come there's some things that come to council individually for approval, and then some things that kind of come just at the end during our amendment process. And so I just thought I would take an opportunity as we're gearing up for budget amendments to kind of explain the process a little bit. So we have discretionary items in the budget. Those would be things like hiring a new FTE or buying a new piece of equipment, things that we have more control over in terms of how we're spending those dollars. Those items, if they're not included in the budget, our policy requires those come to council prior to approval because they're not budgeted, and of course that would increase our spending. Or it could be a grant that we weren't expecting to receive, and so we'll be spending those dollars. So those come to council for pre-approval, and then those are included in our amendments at the end of the year. Then there's non-discretionary items that are just kind of the regular cost of doing business. You know, we have employees that we need to pay. If we have staffing challenges or turnover, we might have to pay overtime because we have to meet minimum staffing levels. We have audit costs, other things that we have less control over. Those costs are happening in real time. We do the best that we can when we build the budget to project what that level of activity will be. We can't always predict everything. So, for example, I have a couple examples in the report that we've had some high staffing turnover that's resulting in overtime. It's not practical to bring that to council for pre-approval, and it's happening in real time, so we can't bring those every single month to council. So what I try to do in those instances is include those in the monthly report. My goal is at the end of the year that you should have seen in some way or another where someone has either brought something forward to you or you've heard me talk about it like we are tonight. So when we get to the end of the year, there should be no surprises. So I just kind of wanted to explain that. So hopefully when we get to the end of the year, you should have seen everything that I'll be bringing forward, and it should just be a review by that time. Those were kind of the two big picture things I wanted to talk about. I had some other details in the report, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay. I think it's great that you started the practice of putting the amendments in every month in the, in the report we see every month. And I think the reports you do every month and the narrative that you give with the numbers to us really helps this council prepare for budget, for the amendments, for all of this work that we have to do by law at the end of the year. So I feel like you prepare us well coming into it.
Okay, great.
Very much so.
Great, thank you.
Michelle?
And I know you said a couple weeks ago that you and Paul talk about this and you're aware of it. It sounds like you're really prepared too for the future for any ups and downs in the economy, potentially like next year, right?
As best that we can
As
be
best as
prepared.
we
For
can
sure.
forecast.
Absolutely, but we do talk about it.
We prepare,
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like it. So,
Yes,
yeah.
each of us independently, go to our different functions or conferences or, gleaning information, and then we meet regularly once a week where we, talk about it, especially as we're building the budget. What does that mean in terms of what revenue source we're looking at? How can we maybe plan for the future? So, yeah, we do have regular conversations. And then throughout the year, because we want to make sure, not only when we're building the budget, as we're monitoring each month, if we're going to be falling short or if those projections might not be what we anticipated, then we're communicating regularly throughout the process.
Thank you.
Yes.
We appreciate that, and I appreciate the work that the council has done to up our financial policies to give us more assurance of a more comfortable ending fund balance. If we do go into a recession or we see a decline in our revenues, we still have to perform the same amount of services for the citizens, and we need staff to do that, so it's great to have that cushion. Thank you,
Yeah,
Kristen.
All
definitely.
right, thank you so much.
Okay, are there any comments from, well, I'll go in order. Let me back up. Paul, do you have any administrative reports this evening?
Just one reminder, we have a fifth Monday this month, so happy Halloween, but don't come here to trick or treat, because you'll be the only one. So, everything we talked about tonight, and we'll be on the November 7th meeting, so you have a week off.
Okay, great. We won't see you next week then. Do we have any, do we have any council comments this evening? Michelle, is your button still on from before? Okay, that's okay.
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Deborah.
Just a reminder that I'll be gone November 7th and November 14th meetings. I am scheduled to Zoom in on the 7th, so I can be a part of the vote for the budget. But I see that I'm on 2 of the agenda items, and just, you know, how sometimes the computers freeze up.
We'll correct that.
So if you could
Yeah.
just put somebody else to make those motions, it
Yep.
would just make it easier for you guys.
We'll fix that. Thanks
to-
for bringing that up.
Yeah, well, plus it'll be 10 o'clock my time where I will be, so I may not be the most alert. And then, I know this is way out, and Wendy, you can shoot me if you want, because I didn't take time to look. Have you sent us the 2023?
Not yet.
Okay, because believe it or not, I was scheduling something on January 3rd, and I was like, oh, do we have council on that Monday, the 2nd of January? We do.
Yes.
So it's not a holiday, because the
'Cause
first
the
is
first
day
is on a
before.
Sunday, so
It
I
was
do
the
believe
next
it is a
week.
holiday.
Might be a holiday then,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, that's what I thought, so.
So I gotta look at the calendar now.
See, no.
Because New Year's Day falls on a Sunday this year.
Yeah, so usually you bump it. So will we be on two, anyway, so I thought I'd give you that heads up.
Yes,
I'm making plans, dear, so.
Too fast.
Right. Any other council comments this evening? Do we have any members of the public that wish to speak to the council this evening? We'll give you 3 minutes at the podium.
It's your turn, Kathy.
Okay. Right, and then Paul did inform me that we have a very full agenda and 4 public hearings when we come back on November 7th. So I'm going to recommend the council put items 1, 2, and 3 on the consent agenda, unless there's any objection.
No, that's fine.
All right. Steve, we have no need for an executive session this evening?
Unless you have something new for me.
No, I don't. And I would never surprise you on a Monday night with it.
It would, Mayor, it would make the most sense for us to come back on January 9th, because that's a workshop.
Yeah.
We could, the 2nd is a holiday, so if we moved it to the 3rd, we'd be starting on a meeting, but we wouldn't have anything really to discuss because we wouldn't have had a workshop yet.
Let's make it the 9th for a workshop then.
At 6
Is that?
o'clock.
At 6 o'clock.
At the new time at 6 o'clock.
Woo-hoo. I'm glad I brought that up. Aren't you guys glad I brought that up?
Okay, are we, that's it?
That's it.
Okay, Madam Mayor, I move to adjourn.
Second?
Question?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.